Hello and welcome to my Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Today we're looking at some cards that are coming out from Beyond the Brave, and these are Destiny Hero archetypal supports. I think this is personally really good because the Destiny Heroes are a bit scrambled all over the place. You had the original user Aster Pheonix, who in Yu-Gi-Oh GX Season 2 introduced his classic Destiny Heroes, and then we had him in the Arc 5 version introduce kind of odd versions of the Destiny Heroes. They were not specifically helpful and they had random level support. These ones are designed around the original Aster Pheonix, as in the Season 2 Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, and they're meant to be evolutions of some of their classic cards. The first card is Destiny Hero Dogma, or as that's quite interesting given that we already had the Destiny Hero Dogma. This is the evolution of that. That was not introduced as his first well, it was kind of introduced as his first boss monster, but it was the Dreadmaster that actually beat Jaden in the first one, and Dogma was introduced in the second duel where Jaden Yuki actually got his Neospatians and then ended up winning that duel. Interesting with the art, he is holding a copy of the Cyclone Blade. That's actually a card which was not only used in that second duel against Jaden, but it exists as its own standalone card. But yeah, it's nice to see that they've used that within the artwork. It's a level 8 Dark Attribute Warrior type effect monster with 3,400 attack and 2,400 defense. It cannot be normal summoned or set, and it must be special summoned from your hand or graveyard by banishing 3 warrior and or dark monsters from your graveyard. You can only special summon Destiny Hero Dogma once per turn this way. 1. If summoned this way, you can activate this effect. Inflict 2,000 damage to your opponent during their next standby phase. And 2. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect, as a quick effect, you can fusion summon one dark or warrior monster from your extra deck by shuffling its materials from your hand, field, and or graveyard into the deck. Stat lineup, attribute, level, typing, all the same as the original Dogma. Summoning conditions are a little bit different because with Dogma, the original Dogma, you needed 3 warrior monsters, or 3 monsters, one of them had to be a Destiny Hero. This is actually not that specific. It can be 3 warrior monsters, 3 dark monsters, or any combination of the two is fine. Even if you want dark warrior monsters, which basically the Destiny Hero archetype is, it's fine. It's also able to summon itself either from your hand or from the graveyard, which is a key part. Given the original Dogma can only be summoned from the hand, you would have to use cards such as Monster Reincarnation to bring the Dogma back if it ever ended up in the graveyard to the hand to then resummon it. This doesn't have that negative effect. It can be summoned from either. First ability, when it's summoned, you guaranteed do 2,000 points of burn damage to your opponent during the next standby phase. Dogma is not a monster that you tend to bring out immediately within the deck, and I'm talking about the old one, because even though it can halve your opponent's life points, most likely you're not going to be doing more than that 2,000 that this new version's doing. It's usually in later games, and whereas that can't actually finish a game, because if you half life points, you're just halving life points, you're not going to deplete them to 0 to win the game. This, if your opponent is sitting at 2,000 or less life points, is game ending. You can finish your opponent by actually just summoning this card, ending your turn, hoping your opponent doesn't have any response, by the way, and then going into the standby phase and then initiating this effect to win that game. Second ability, the original Dogma doesn't have another ability, so this is actually this is another upgrade, is that as soon as your opponent activates a card or effect, and this is a quick effect, so it can be used during yours or your opponent's turn, you're just able to fusion summon a dark or warrior monster from your extra deck, so long as you've got the materials in combination anywhere from the hand, the field, and or graveyard back into the deck. So not only are you able to recover those resources, but it's actually a way of going into multiple different variations of cards. So you can go into your classic Destiny Hero monsters, but you don't have to. You can go into variation of cards, and it being less limited to Dark Attribute means it can cover all these other unusual types of decks, which is another plus side to it. The second card we have here is the Destiny Hero Doomliege. It's a level 3 Dark Attribute Warrior type effect monster, 600 attack, 800 defense, same as the original Doom Lord, but this is obviously going to be the upgrade. You can only use this card's name's first and second effects once per turn each. 1. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one monster your opponent controls, banish it until the next standby phase. 2. You can send one Destiny Hero monster from your deck to the graveyard, add one Clock Tower Prison, or Clock Tower Prison City Dark City from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You can special summon for the rest of this turn except Dark Hero monsters. The stat lines are the same, but the first effect is interesting. It benefits and it has a bit of a limit as well. This new version is able to just, as soon as it's normal or special summoned, target an opponent's monster and it gets banished until the next standby phase. So you can actually just clear it for your turn, but it does come back at your basic as the next turn, really. You can actually also use this at a point where if this card has been revived, for example, from the graveyard through cards such as Call of the Haunted, to banish it on your opponent's turn, not letting that monster then come back until really your next standby phase. So there is a way of actually interacting with those cards to disrupt whatever your opponent is doing. Perfect if you just need very time-lapsed effects just for the here and now, but not so effective when it comes to the original Doom Lord can get rid of your opponent's monster for 2 turns, and that can be more useful in some respects. You do have to then give up your battle phase as a downside of the original as well. Second ability, the original Doom Lord doesn't have one, so this is just unique to this one. Just by sending a Destiny Hero monster from your deck to the graveyard, you can use this for something like Disc Commander. So if Disc Commander's in your graveyard, you happen to revive it, you get to draw 2 cards as another benefit. Or you can send Malicious, which is another one you want to send, because when that card you can banish it to bring another copy of itself onto your field, useful for going into any of your link monsters, or it can be used as future material for something like your Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer. Those are just 2 immediate applications for it. And then you can search for either a Clock Tower Prison. So that card happens to be the traditional one where every one of your standby phases you get to put a clock tower counter, whatever it's called, onto it, and once it gets 4 of them, you no longer take any sort of battle damage until that card happens to be off the field. And if it happens to be destroyed whilst it has 4 or more counters, you get to then special summon Dreadmaster, and then Dreadmaster's effect summons 2 Destiny Heroes. It gets boosted by the Destiny Heroes you've got on the field, and your Destiny Heroes happen to be protected from all effects for the rest of that turn. The new version is actually going to be in this, and I'll discuss that further. But it also just allows you that search and recovery. You can either choose to get it from your deck, or if you've got a copy in your graveyard, that's also another option for you. The next card we have here is Destiny Hero Dreadnought Servant. It's a level 3 Dark Attribute Warrior type effect monster with 400 attack and 700 defense. You can only use this card's name's first and second effects once per turn each. 1. If you control a Destiny Hero monster or a face-up field spell, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then you can destroy 1 card your opponent controls, and if you do, add 1 polymerization from your deck to your hand. 2. If you special summon a level 8 Destiny Hero monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 card your opponent controls, place it on the top of the deck. This is another version of the Destiny Hero Dread Servant, and since you're going to have the actual Dreadmaster, that makes sense to have a Dread Servant to pair with it. First ability, so long as you've got a Destiny Hero monster or a face-up field spell, this card instantly gets special summoned. You do have to then destroy a card that you control, so it can be itself, it can actually be the Clock Tower Prison to then trigger off that card's effect, or if there's another card that you just don't need for the time being, or something that activates when it's been destroyed by an effect, then you can not only get the polymerization search from your deck to your hand, but you can get the benefits of whatever that card that's been destroyed, that card's effect. And the second ability, as soon as this card is just special summoned, you could, if you special summon a level 8 Destiny Hero monster, provided this card is in the graveyard, you can then top deck your opponent's card, so not only do you know what they're going to be drawing, but it actually disrupts their draw phase, because that, unless they actually have a card in their hand that already allows them to draw into further cards, they can't really do anything to counteract that. This card is an upgrade because the original version, I believe, allows you to put clock tower counters on your clock tower prison field spell, and it destroys it if the card is destroyed by battle, I believe, but that's not as effective as this card is. And here we have the Destiny Hero Dreadnought. So this is a brand new fusion monster. Imagine the Destiny Hero Dreadmaster, but now it's got itself as a fusion form. It's a level 8 Dark Attribute Warrior type fusion effect monster. What does it have to be? It's from the GX series. They were emphasized on using fusion monsters. It was their niche. It was the archetypes that were supported. So it makes sense. It has question mark attack points, but it has 2,800 defense points. Most interesting thing about this, actually, in terms of lore, is that the first time it was summoned, it was during a duel where its attack and defense were 2,800 because of the various heroes they had on the field. If I'm correct, there was the Destiny Hero Doomlord, there was Captain Tenacious, and there was Diamond Dude, which makes sense because Doomlord 600 attack, Captain Tenacious 800 attack, so that's 1400, plus Diamond Dude is 1400, so it gained attack and defense equal to the total attack of those combined Destiny heroes. So that's why. It requires 2 level 5 or higher Destiny Hero monsters. There's plenty of those cards to go around. It must either be fusion summoned or special summoned from your extra deck by attributing 1 Destiny Hero Dreadmaster. You can only special summon Destiny Hero Dreadnought guy once per turn this way, no matter which method you use. So this is nice because you do have the option of going either using the original or just straight out fusion summoning this card. First ability, if this card is special summoned, you can add 2 Destiny Hero monsters and or cards that mention a Destiny Hero monster's card name from your deck to your hand. As second ability, this card's attack becomes the total original attack of all other Destiny Hero monsters in your field and graveyard. The summoning on this is really easy, like I said. First ability, as soon as this is special summoned, so it can actually be when it's summoned normally through fusion summon, or it can actually be if it's ever revived from the graveyard. You're able to then just search for 2 Destiny Hero cards, so it can be monsters, it can be spell or traps, so long as they have a Destiny Hero monster's card name on the text, so that's fine. Second ability is actually where this card shines, and where this can actually be part of an OTK, is that it gets boosted by all other Destiny Hero monsters in your field and graveyard. The original just looked at any Destiny Hero monsters you had on your field. This one does both. And it's actually not unique to having a specifically named Destiny Hero. For example, if you've got multiple Doomlords in your graveyard and on the field, it still gets the boost for each of those Doomlords. If you've got all 3 Doomlords somewhere on the field or the graveyard or both, this will still get the 1800 points boost. There are so many Destiny heroes now that actually running something like Destruction of Destiny, which is deemed to be a really bad card. I mean, it was used by Aster Pheonix against Zane Truesdale, I'm going to say, in that little grudge match they had, where he just got rid of 5 cards. That was actually to boost up his elemental hero Shining Phoenix Enforcer, but in this case you could really just use that to dump a load of Destiny Hero monsters into your grave, and you get the boost from that card type of effect as well. It does have a downside of you can lose 1,000 life points for each spell and trap that's actually discarded through this effect, but yeah, hey Celebi, no, it's a card effect. There is to benefit greatly if you combine it with this card. And the final card we have here is called the Clock Tower Prison City Dark City. So it's meant to merge your Clock Tower Prison with the Dark City spell card, which is a field spell similar to Skyscraper. It boosts your Destiny Hero monsters' attack points by 1,000. When they battle a monster that your opponent has that has more attack points than it. This new version lets you use the first and third effects of this card's name each once per turn. 1. If this card was activated this turn, you can add 1 Destiny Hero monster or 1 card that mentions a Destiny Hero monster's card's name from your deck to your hand. 2. Each time you special summon a level 8 or higher Destiny Hero monster, all warrior monsters you currently control gain 300 attack. And 3, if this card is destroyed, you can special summon one Destiny Hero monster from your deck. This is treated as a special summon with Clock Tower Prison. First ability, as soon as this is just activated, you're able to search for a Destiny Hero monster or a card, so the spell or trap, that features a Destiny Hero monster's card name from the deck to the hand. So many field spells actually do that as just an intrinsic part of their activation, so there's nothing special about it. Second ability, each time you special summon a level 8 or higher Destiny Hero monster, there's a few of them. All warrior monsters you currently control gain 300 attack points, so it's a continual way of boosting up your monsters. The only downside I'd say of this is it's not that consistent, and you need to have almost an established board, so it's like a win harder type of card, which is useful for them, but it's not always the best condition for them. And I think there's another card which is a continuous trap card that Destiny Heroes have, which actually boosts their attack points by 400 during each of your standby phases. So it's not. I know it's more of a nod to Dark City, but it's a bit of a meh effect. And the third ability just lets you special summon a Destiny Hero monster, and it's treated the same as if Clock Tower Prison had been destroyed, so you can actually just bring out your Dreadmaster through this effect. That's ideally how it's supposed to work. I think personally I love all of these cards. I think they're really useful, and I would see playing... I'm a fan of Destiny Heroes anyway, so bias here. I love the archetype. I could definitely see myself playing it when these new cards come out, whenever they get... and that reminds me, I'm actually going to have to get a playset of all the other Destiny Heroes so I can actually build the deck. But I'm not too worried about that. The cards aren't particularly that expensive and easy enough to get. But obviously closer to time of release, that's when these cards are going to be at their kind of highest point. I don't think any of these cards are that bad. I think they're all actually very useful. I would have liked to have seen a Captain Tenacious retrain, given that it was one of the base cards that was used by Aster Pheonix. It was kind of one of the signature ones. I would have liked to have seen a few more upgrades to it, but we're kind of going to have to wait and see if that does become an eventuality in the future. Hoping, fingers crossed. I'd love to know what your opinions of these new Destiny Heroes are in the comment section down below. Make sure to like the video, it really helps support the channel, and if you can watch another video at the end screen or on the main channel itself, that'd also be greatly appreciated. Thank you.